Welcome everybody. Welcome all you Drangir and Shield Maidens to this week's episode of Dropping the Hammer. I'm your host, Warhammer. And tonight, we're gonna talk about my last match. I went to Port Neches this Saturday and wrestled for Southern Star Wrestling. The second time I've been able to wrestle for this company. I really enjoy working with everything about these guys. A lot of these guys I know from another company, so they're just kind of going down the road and getting some extra training in and whatnot. But this company is kind of taken off really quickly. They do once a month show, and they're able to put everything into this. They got steel barricades now. They've got a nice ring set up. All the colors pop. They've got a roaming and a hard cam. The sound is great. Lighting is great. So all in all, it was a fun show. Great to work. I worked Kane Sturm. Haven't worked him before, but he's a relatively new kid, but very hard worker. Nothing in our match did I have a comment for him afterwards. Apparently I was looked to as one of the locker room vets, so I was told to take advice and whatever, to take notes for him and whatnot. But I couldn't really find anything. Everything was solid. Everything seemed to make sense. I was able to call some stuff in to him that made sense to me. He listened. He called his moves. I listened. It was great. Overall solid match. I'm always very critiqueful. I don't know if that's the word. I'm my own worst enemy, so I'm gonna always say I needed to do more and perform better. I'll be honest, I was blown. I'm having troubles breathing. Obviously this nose strip helps, but when I take it off, I cannot breathe. So I've really seriously got to look into that balloon. Not looking forward to it, but I need the relief. So being able to breathe is all that's necessary. But again, I don't feel I brought 110% of the Viking power. Hey Jax, hey Miss Shamery. Thank y'all for showing up. Y'all say I did well. I disagree. Respectfully, but sinoplasty, yes, sinoplasty is the name of it. Rhino's the outside and the cosmetic look. Sinoplasty is the insides. But I just can't breathe. I was on a live a while back and I was awake, but someone thought I was snoring, so I got booted from one of the boxes. But I was like, wait, what's going on? And they were like, oh, you're still alive and awake. We thought you were snoring. And I was like, no, that's me breathing. So from then on, I've been real self-conscious, and that's hence why this is a thing. My problem is I'm now tearing up the sides of my nose from wearing it so long. I found, there's 4 different strengths, and they're all just different sizes. I can wear the 3 for almost 24 hours. The 4, I can wear it for 18-ish hours. Absolutely, you can send me some information. I actually had a coworker, one of my bosses, higher ups, find me in Brookshire's, and he was talking about it. So I definitely need to do it. I've got insurance, so you know, it's quality of life type thing. You know, I'm tired of not breathing. I'm tired of feeling like I'm underwater constantly. So this match was a definite hard one. I know my cardio needs to be better, so I need to start running. I need to start jogging with a soft J. That's just a lot of walking for me. Yeah, Miss Jean-Marie will I'll get some information from you because I have questions. So yeah, but overall this kid, he's gonna do okay. He's gonna do all right, as long as he listens to everybody else up and down the chain. So it was hot. Oh, hot Saturday night. Yeah. It's cold now. I froze all day at work, and man, I struggled. I struggled the day at work. Struggled bus. So first off, apparently it rained at some point this weekend. There was a lot of water on my fields, on my softball fields, so had to start pumping the water off and using giant rollers to roll off the water. You know, push the water from here to there. You know, making more wet dirt, but that'll dry faster. I know it's counterproductive, but we're trying to dry dirt faster, so you got to move the water. We were rolling, but there's no way we could have taken care of all 6 fields that me and my partner needed to take care of. We were struggling with 3. So my crew lead and 2 other coworkers show up to take care of my fields. Apparently their fields weren't as bad. They were able to get knocked out, but their fields canceled for the week or today, whatever it was. So they take my fields off my hands. We go to the second location, the second park, and start working on it. And we get there to start, and it's no problem, but we have to stop for lunch. 11 o'clock hard, lunch. That's it. You're clocked out. So we basically got to stop. We get going after lunch, and from then on, it was one problem after another. One of the drag machines was malfunctioning. Not sure why. The paint rig was not really doing too well. The grass was high, so it looked like it was wavy. On top of that, the mowers showed up while we're working the field, so we're working around them and they're working around us. I had to go to the shop, get a trailer, get another drag, drive it to the field. Got there just in time to finish up what I was trying to do right before lunch. And I mean, by the time we turn around, it's almost 4 o'clock, and we're supposed to clock out at 4 o'clock. So it was a rough butt kicking, but we made it. And that's kind of how I feel Saturday went. Ow. Um, I certainly didn't get physically abused as bad as I usually do, but it still, I was spent 6 hours, 7 hours or more, almost 8 in a car, just to go down, get slammed around and then drive straight back. Now, I will say the people get it. People get me. Um, During intermission, uh, several people won raffles and things like that during intermission, and I heard it twice. It might have been 3 times. I'm not really sure. I kind of lost count. I wasn't paying attention. Somebody else told me it was more, but at a certain point, they were asking, "So, who's your favorite so far?" And uh, Miss Hannah, one of my big fans. She made the snake and the hammer. Um, Apparently four people said I was their favorite. Um, so Miss Hannah I saw, and another little girl. I, we had got pictures earlier, and I let her hold the hammer and was telling her how strong she was. And, got pictures, and I'm trying to be scary, but we got this little girl, and she's holding the hammer, saying it's not that heavy. So in the end, when she wins a prize, I was able to find a tiny shirt, a small shirt. I autographed it and gave it to her, gave her a big hug. So she said it was her first show, and I was already her favorite. So when she said that, I had to go give her a shirt. So I made this, everybody was like, "Oh, this big scary Viking hugging a little girl. He can't be that scary." So, so is one of those things. But I do it for the kids. Jax, my bud, he's watching. He's constantly watching, and he's another reason why I do it. Some of the protein sodas, man, these are interesting. I haven't had a soda in quite a while, so I bought a couple of these. They're pretty good. This one is strawberry, wild strawberry. Um, the other one I got is pineapple, but I haven't tried it. The other ones I tried were a different brand, and they I remember it was grape and orange, and they both tasted like grape and orange. This one's definitely strawberry, but it's got a little something more. I guess you can definitely tell or feel the protein away. It's kind of thick. It feels thick. It's not like a soda. It almost makes you want to drink more. But I also have this water right here, so I've been sipping the water to help compensate. Certainly didn't drink enough water today, but I have hydrated well over the weekend. I drank even though tea is a diuretic, I drank a giant sweet tea going down there, but I had um, 3 Pedialytes, Gator Lights, a couple bottles of water. Like I counteracted the tea, but this right here, yes, yes. Um, to me, I've said this before. I like going to shows and kind of finding me as a kid and interacting some way, whether it's a positive, or a negative. I do like scaring kids, but that's all haunted house related and whatnot. But I'll find a kid and I'll roar at him, and then I'll walk by and just keep going. And the second time I end up near him, I'll rah, again. And, you know, each time they jump, they're not expecting it. So I'm doing this to make them, you know, react. Most of the time, their parents are like, you know, yell back at him, you know, rah, rah, back at him, you know, and once they do, I start, you know, oh, you know, maybe I don't want to mess with you. So it becomes this back and forth. Now they're on top, and it's very few often kids get to feel that top. So let me see this at the game show, game over show. That's cool. I so again, I was saying I struggle with it. I thought it was a C match, and that was, you know, my rating, not his. So he did well. I think I could have done more. Yes, great to have banter. Um, yes. So I do want to apologize for miscommunication with the midget wrestling for everybody. Um, I got conflicting information, and excuse me. So I talked to one gentleman. He loved my gimmick, loved my look, told me to go talk to the road manager on Thursday. I messaged, hey, you want me to meet on Thursday? He was like, yeah, just show up before the show. Okay, so I showed up before the show and met the road manager. He told me the insurance wouldn't allow this, and I was like, well, I've already, you know, done this before. I've worked Doomsday before. You know, none of this is, you know, I'm not even getting paid, so you know, I don't understand. But I'm not trying to squash his show. You know, it's more power to him. But he was the first gentleman that told me no due to insurance. He still ended up taking my information and got my flyers and, you know, not my flyers, but my music and all that stuff. I do. Give me a second. Give me a second, bud. So uh, after talking to him, getting all my music and information set up, he tells me to show back up and I can talk to the wrestlers. Um, uh, once almost showtime, the wrestlers show up. I go to talk to them. I get stopped by somebody else, and he tells me, "Well, I'm their big, and the story doesn't really perpetuate you, so we don't really need you." So he was the second person that denied me, but ultimately was the one that told me no. So, you know, no hard feelings. These guys put on a hell of a show. Wasn't able to, you know, stay and watch. I had other engagements since I said no to earlier. So it is what it is. Um, we do have my partner from the Saturday. So can you see fingerprints? Can you count fingers? Like, you know, how much of my hand can you see? We were thinking you were going to wrestle Jace. He's pretty tiny. No, I didn't get to sell any oil to the midgets. I really didn't get to talk to them, so never even saw them. And he's the second opponent I've wrestled who wrestles barefooted. I wasn't stopping to smell the roses, but nothing that I could find. Okay, so I'll be honest. I've got more. I've got more experience with the right hand chop, and it was a little meatier. The second hand is more for sound, but it is just as impactful. You got the three fingers, and that's usually what'll sink in. When I catch the pinky, like it's that means I really got you. But welcome to the club, my man. Just so you know, I I I expected chops back. Like, you could have done that at any point. So, feel free. Uh, so, oh no. It's, hey, you know, they're going to ask you what happened, and then you've got a good story to, and you can flex on it and make the handprints like move and shake. It'll look like they're just spirit fingers and whatnot. But um, Aiden, Kane, I'm not sure which one to call you. Kane Chaos, Aiden Sturm. You know, um, yes, yes, that's exactly what happened, and you do have it on video as soon as they broadcast it next month or so. But yeah, I mean it's gonna be a story. Um, I was expecting to show up looking like I had got beat up by daycare and have a bunch of tiny handprints all over me. So it would have been funny, but I am so pale. I'm so pasty. Every strike, every chop, every scratch has a leaves a mark, leaves a story. So I by all means, you know, get your story over on my skin. The chops, scratches, anytime I can be hit with something, it's gonna be you're gonna see it. Um, Hopefully, I don't bleed, but I'm not really worried about it too much. Freak accidents happen, but yes, I pretty much did. Yes, sir. It was an honor to work with you. I the honor was mine. Um, so thank you for your work. I couldn't make you look as I couldn't make you look. Let me see how I can word this. I couldn't do my work without the work you put in. So I couldn't make you look good without you doing the same for me. So thank you very much, and we will certainly see each other in the ring very soon. Yes. So Justin knows. Yeah, we don't need lights to stand out. I have. So I've proven it. I was with my baby mama. So this was quite a while ago. And I was reaching for something on the headboard, and every time I did, it was almost like someone turned on a light. I couldn't figure it out, couldn't figure it out, couldn't figure it out. And then I realized there was a tiny mirror in our headboard. It's an old waterbed frame, but the reflection from the TV was bouncing off the mirror onto my skin, and it was lighting up the little headboard cupboard area enough to where I could see. So I was a flashlight, and I was able to find either the remote or something I was looking for. And you know, yeah, yeah, we're glow in the dark. Yes, yes. for being so new. I didn't really have any notes from our match. Like I said, the only notes I had was when he was using the chair later that night. Other than that, I'm gonna put it to you this way. I'm afraid of that man. Nobody tell him I said that. I'm afraid of that man. Yeah. I does is there a reason? Does it make sense for either one of our characters? Um, it's not that I wouldn't wrestle him. Should I wrestle him? Should he wrestle me? More importantly, it's not. Again, I'm not putting myself first, even though sometimes people tell me I should. I can't. I can't. So I'm putting him first. Is there a benefit for Remsen to wrestle me? Uh-huh. Uh-huh. So I've been playing Windrose, this pirate survival game. It's not even a game, it's a demo. It's a 8 to 10 hour demo. That is all this is, but I've been playing it for, 30 some odd hours. I'm building a base, and now I've started another land where I can, and I'm gonna I'm gonna build a pirate cove where I can drive my boats up next to it, and like the small boat I'm gonna drive inside my base. Like, yeah. But my pirate name is Gingerbeard, and my joke is, I only sell when it's dark out, because I'll get sunburned. I don't know about any of my crew, but I'll get sunburned, so I gotta stay inside. Yeah, yes, I understand getting the dub, but is there a benefit for him aside from beating Warhammer? Or now, absolutely, the story is the underdog conquering, the mountainous hero, David and Goliath, whatever you want to call it, because I'm going to say a third of Ring Bully. Yeah, yeah. Like the fact that I have gotten close to having issues in a normal match, I don't think I could do anything to that man if he didn't want me to. Now I've body slammed. He wasn't 400 pounds, but he was close. 375 ish. Not saying Remsen is that big. I'm just saying I have handled large opponents, but I don't remember winning. I can make them look like a giant by getting destroyed. Yes, I would have to cheat. I would certainly have to cheat or use weapons. Like the scene from A Knight's Tale. The scene from A Knight's Tale where Prince Adamar is asking his counsel, and he's like, "How would you beat him?" He's like, "With a stick while he slept." But on a horse with a lance, can't do it. So yeah, I would have to cheat to beat Remsen, because I don't think there's any way that man. Now, I've taken a flying elbow from near 400 pounds, top rope elbow. I thought it was an angel of death. So that's the closest I've come to dying in the ring. But I'm sure keep want to call him Stonewall. That's the name I knew him as, but now he's Ring Bully. We'll just say Rimson. Man, that I'm a third of that man. Come on now. Yes, yes. I will be there on the 4th. I will be there on the 18th. I am finding out information about the 11th. That is my birthday. So we will see what happens. I'm not booked this weekend in Marshall, which is unfortunate. So, I'm not able to tell them about April, but things happen. So we're going to see if we can get booked, for my birthday. I would love to, I would love to get booked somewhere and make money for my birthday. I joke I'm old. I'm not that old. I'm close. I will be 42. 42. Now, I saw a post the other day. I've been doing this 8 years. 8 years in May. That was when I originally debuted, not when I started training. I've debuted a couple of times with League of Lions, but it was just Royal Rumbles. I have the photos of my first Rumble. I've even got my photos of my first show that I was with these guys. So it's kind of funny. I'm in the background of one of the pictures, and then I'm in a picture. So, that was fun to kind of see the change there. But I've been doing this 8 years. I've been doing it consecutively since COVID released, so 2020. And that's the number I'm kind of sticking with. Once that reaches 10 years, we are going to reassess the body. We'll see what happens. The first match I had, I'm trying to find it, and I thought I had done it before, but apparently I haven't. It is from the Grace of the Lions in Gilmer, actually, with his name was T.D. Shepard then. Now he's Shrek's Dreadnoks or whatever, something I can't really remember, but T.D. Shepard. But that was 2020, I believe, September 2020. So that was my first match. Not counting any dark matches or stuff like that. That was when I debuted as Warhammer, and that's where the story originally starts. So, oops, almost drank the microphone. Now, TD is somebody, TD I've worked many times, went to training with. We went through the School of Lions, so knew him in and out. And we've been used multiple times for story purposes. We were featured in the newspaper for Gusher Days. We had a nice. So I've got the same photo from different angles. So it's the same shot, just different angles. And I've got a suplex that I gave him from one angle, and then in the newspaper, it's the opposite angle. So from one side of the ring to the other side of the ring, but you can see the person taking the photo in each photo. So you know where the angle is coming from. But it's great that I can have the same shot. Like, look, watch, and you go, wow, because that's when I started to realize I was able to almost, keep my feet planted and drop them, not so much bridging, but, um, I'm able to get a nice suplex and it's safe. So I am not sure. That's something, I never know prices. I'm not local enough to really advertise the show, because all my people would be coming from up north. It's kind of harder for me to advertise. I try to put on flyers and stuff like that anytime I'm on them. I will be putting one up real soon. So apparently it is free. So April 4th, free at, I believe it's Stuckey's, the buffet of buffoons. And yeah, I will be there. So hopefully, no, that's a Sons of Plunder. So the Sons of Plunder will be there. So Sons of Plunder will be back in action. I've been able to get with the label designer. I've gotten all the information I can. This next message I send will be, how many labels and each size. So that's real fun. We've this beard oil and wash. Man, it's been a great thing that we've done. We're getting custom little holders for our beard oil, little displays and things like that. So just to say, it will be at Stuckey's in Orange, Texas, off the I-10 for free. So yeah, come on out. If you're driving around, got nothing to do, if you're driving through, want to see some wrestling, the Sons of Plunder are always memorable. Just like Saturday, everybody got it, everybody dug it. I look the part. I sound the part until you catch me off, at merch table, and then I've got to really communicate with you. I never know how far to carry the character. So Viking is more for the Norse, is more for promos and videos and stuff like that to further, keep the character alive. I braid character so everybody can understand me. So I'm not scary if I don't have to be. Only when I'm knocking over the handicap out of their walkers, or, messing with the elderly and knocking their canes out of their hands. That's the only time I'm trying to be a mean guy, but that's family. I can pick on family. You can't, but so yes. I'm a teddy bear. I don't like being a heel, but if you've got nobody to be a heel, let me be it, because I'll be worse than you were expecting. And that was the case tossing Coach. I guess it wasn't Coach, that was Jamarcus. I tossed Jamarcus out of his walker that night. Coach wouldn't have let me do that, but you know, it was fun being the bad guy, but I also got ran out by a kid and the same handicapped gentleman that I knocked over. So he's now submitted in character. Couldn't do anything like that this night, but it's been long enough. They forgot all about me and who I was, and I was able to be face. Now I do got to apologize. I didn't know moves were banned for certain wrestlers. Moves were banned at all, but training. That's what I was told. I can certainly help where I can. I was there early enough, but I didn't know there was issues. So now I'm gonna dedicate my time a little better. I'm gonna get there as quick as I can. That way I can do seminars and training stuff in the ring. I wanted to do that. It's just sometimes it is a struggle to leave, and it's a 4-hour drive some places. So, I'm getting there and it's unpack, unload. It's nearly showtime. Got to get to the back because fans are showing up. So I'm gonna dedicate myself to y'all's time to help further y'all. The better y'all get, the better I get. That's what I've been saying all along. We're all paddling together. If we're paddling in the same direction, we go faster and farther. As long as we're rowing together. So I need to blow my nose. I'm getting affected by the allergies, but it's also time for this one to come off. So I'm gonna leave it there. But you can message me on all my platforms. Linktree has all of it. We've got beard oil, we've got beard wash. We're working on more shirts, but we still got some shirts. We've got stickers and pictures. We need more patches, buttons, and things like that, but we're working on all that. We'll get some more. If anybody wants some merch, you can hit me up. I'm working on a website. Things are bad. I can't really say everything that's coming out because I've got a lot of irons in the fire, but this podcast is getting better because of the upgrades StreamYard's doing. I'm learning new things. We're getting better together. So thank you all for tuning in. Be sure to hammer that like button. Share this with everybody you can. I really appreciate it. It's getting my name out there. It's getting all of us out there. So thank you for any help you can offer. So again, tune in next week and we'll talk about something else. Probably won't be a match, but maybe we'll watch a match. So y'all have a good night.